I cannot believe the incredible deal I got in these two SHFiguarts figures. Only 30 bucks a piece. Let's open them up, check them out, and do some toy photography with them. So these two figures right here are both SHFiguarts, an amazing brand that I love so much, which are typically $60 to $100. I got both of these figures for $30 each. And I know they're not really either very new figures, so they're both a few years old, but $30 for a fantastic SHFiguarts is ridiculous. Holy crap. So this one right here is the Avengers Infinity War Doctor Strange SHFiguarts. And then this over here is the Antman, I think from Civil War. And I got them on the Whatnot app. If you've ever heard of the Whatnot app, it's kind of like eBay / Mercari, but it specifically focuses on collectibles, trading cards, action figures, all kinds of stuff like that. They do live auctions, and they just do normal buy it now or bidding offers. It's really cool. So if you're interested, I definitely highly recommend using the app. I have it linked in the description below, and if you use that link, you get 15 bucks off your first purchase. So that's really cool. And I'm really excited about these two figures, and that I found them on here. Only 30 bucks a piece. That's pretty damn cool. And yes, of course, they're both legitimate SHFiguarts. They're not, no boots here in this house. So there's not any unboxing that needs to be done with Antman, so I'm gonna do him first. All he came with was himself, as well as a couple of hands, some fists, and some open hands. That's honestly fine with me. I care more about hands and heads than I do actual accessories. And what's really great about Antman, he is the best action figure for anyone who's a toy photographer, especially if you're just starting out. What's great about him is you can take a toy photo of him anywhere. You don't need any kind of diorama or anything that scales up with him, because he already scales with everything, because he shrinks and he grows or whatever. So you can take photos of him with life-size objects and it will fit with him perfectly, because that's just the nature of his character, and that's just great. I think this is the perfect Antman figure for me, and I'll probably be using him a lot, and I'll definitely be shooting him in this video for sure. So Doctor Strange is also just a great character to have in your arsenal too, if you're a toy photographer like me, because anytime you have something weird or strange happening in a photo idea, Doctor Strange always fits for that, and I feel like just having him there in case I need him for a toy photo, it's really perfect. So I'm glad I picked this guy up too. Okay, this figure is impressive. I was not expecting all of this in here. First of all, it looks great. The face sculpt definitely looks like Benedict Cumberbatch, and it comes with another face sculpt with some eyes closed, very concentrated face, or sleeping, you never know. Obviously the detail and everything is up to the standards of SHFiguarts, but the cape is very interesting. So if you look at the top here towards the collar, that is still plastic and it will always hold its place as is. But it's got a fully wired and articulated cape. We've got some checkered pattern inside, and then totally red on the back, which is just beautiful. But it's got this really interesting hinge back here that I've never seen in a cape before. So you can kind of bend the hinge up to get it to be more upwards like that. Very, very interesting. I've never seen that before. The amount of stuff he comes with is incredible. I can't believe how much stuff he comes with. We've got just about as many hands, more hands than I've ever seen come with a figure. All kinds of magical different positions, including this one that's shooting out the little red ribbon magic thing. Someone correct me on the actual terminology for this. And we've got this hand with a little peg here, so you could attach it to these cool spell things. So when you put them on, he is casting the spells. Oh, it's so cool. So super cool. Also, a quick shout out to my man Steph at Detour Customs, who makes these really cool magic spell thingies that work so incredibly well with different color LEDs and stuff. So if you want one of these, I'll have that linked in the description as well. They're really fantastic. You've got all these little rings here that can go up his wrist, and they pop onto his wrist, so you can have it look like he's got all these cool magical things happening. You can take this and replace where his amulet of Agamotto, whatever it's called, is the time stone thing. And so you've got the magic wrapping around his chest. And check this out. Look at this sword. That's so cool. This spell casted sword is just really freaking awesome. And it does come with this portal thingy too. It's very dull. When I stick a light behind it, it looks cool, but the light on it is very dull. I don't know, Doctor Strange, what do you think?
Stop!
Man, I made out like a bandit with these two figures. 30 bucks a piece is just wild, especially for this guy. Holy crap. So I've got to take some toy photos. I'm gonna do some fun indoor kind of messing with real life object with this guy. Then with Doctor Strange, let's create an actual practical portal effect with a sparkler outside. I think that'll be a ton of fun. Okay, so I've got a fun little shot planned over here in my kitchen with Antman. He's gonna be getting in the way of me trying to sweep my floor. So here he is. He is running right now. I've got a couple of sticky tack and little skewer things to keep him standing up in a running pose. And I'm gonna be sweeping the floor, so I'm gonna have my hands in the photo. And hopefully I can kick up some dust that will be captured in camera like this. And so my settings right now, I actually have my ISO at 1000 because I need a lot of light. It's not that bright in here, and I need to turn my shutter speed up pretty quickly to capture the dust that I want. So my shutter speed's at 640 and f-stop's at 2.2, pretty usual. So I'm gonna use this cornmeal. This is just something I had in my cabinet for dust on the ground. So hopefully I can kick some of it up and get some bokeh or something in the air to make it look like I'm sweeping dust and he's just running away from the dustpan like that. So the thing is, I'm gonna be in the photo and taking the photo at the same time. So I'm gonna be doing a combination of my remote and my timer. So if I kind of use my remote to take the photo, also have the timer on. So I have the timer on for 5 seconds. So when I start it, it'll give me 5 seconds and it also will take 5 shots. So it'll give me some time to do what I gotta do, get over there and kick up some dirt and hopefully make it work. I was hoping for a sunny day because the sun usually shines right on here, but it's pretty cloudy today, but oh well. Okay, so now we're outside. It's late at night right now, and now we're gonna make a practical Doctor Strange portal looking effect with all the sparks and stuff. And it's so incredibly easy to do. All you need is a sparkler and a camera that you can slow the shutter speed down on. And if you're wondering where to get things like sparklers, stuff like that, I've got a bunch of videos on all of this stuff and how you can get it. So I'll have that linked in the description as well, just like along with everything else and the gear that I'm using with the camera. Everything that I'm using is all going to be linked in the description, including how to get sparklers. So here's just a little test that I did. Make sure you're doing this dark enough outside to the point where you can crank your settings to the point like this and it still doesn't totally wash everything out. So what I've got right now, if you look here, it's pretty dark and I'm gonna be using no lights later on, but I got the lights on for the sake of the video. But right now my shutter speed is at 3 seconds, 3.2 seconds. My f-stop is at 7.1 and my ISO is at 200. So f-stop is really high because the higher it is, yes, it makes things more in focus, but it also makes things darker as well. My shutter speed's at 3.2 seconds, which gives me 3 seconds to move my sparkler around in a way that can look like a circle. I'm gonna be using my little camera remote, but if you use a timer or a remote, it works great because you're not gonna be touching your camera, and any bump of your camera can really mess it up because it's gonna be taking 3 whole seconds to take your photo, and any bump of the camera is gonna make everything all blurry. So tripod, don't touch your camera, all very important. Okay, let's turn this light off and give it a test run. I'm gonna get my camera started with the timer, grab my sparkler and light it. Now I'm going to draw a circle with my sparkler, just like this, as it's taking the shot. And as you can tell, it's doing that. And that's all you gotta do. It's called light painting. It's very, very simple. You just do stuff while your camera's taking the photo, moving light around. I actually have a whole tutorial on light painting. If you're interested, I have that tutorial here as well. It's a little old, but it still does the job. So I'm gonna mess around with this and just try to get some cool shots. I cannot recommend using the Whatnot app enough. You can find some really great figures for even greater prices on there, and it's also just where I've been selling all my old figures as well. It's a great app to use. Head to the link in the description. I've got the discount code down there and everything. If you did enjoy the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. That would be amazing, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.